Hey everyone, I want you to imagine that there are two friends and they have gotten together to work out, and their method of working out is running. They've been running together recently, and to get better at running, they've been tracking each other's speeds. The way they've been doing that is they make a table of the distance they run and how long it takes for them to do it. On this day, they actually kind of want to compare, who's been keeping up with their workout routine more, who's running faster. So we've got Wendy over here, and we've got an incomplete table of her run times and distances. And then we've got Yoshi over here, and we know that in 11 seconds, she can run 70 meters. So the way that we are going to compare who's faster is by finding the unit rates. Last time you learned that one way to find the unit rate is to set it up like a fraction. And generally speaking, we put the time on the bottom. So this would be 70 meters over 11 seconds. And we want to find out what this looks like in 1 second. What's her speed per 1 second? The unit rate. Kind of like in miles per hour, you only want to find the speed over 1 hour. Okay, well, I know that if I divide by 11 on the bottom, then the denominator will be 1 second, meaning I'm going to have to divide by 11 on the top. When you divide 70 by 11, you get about 6.36, and that was in meters. So we know that Yoshi is running at a speed of 6.36 meters per second. Let's take a look at Wendy. We've got a whole bunch of data here. We can use her time for when she ran for 5 seconds. We can use the time for when she did it in 15 seconds. We can use the time she ran in 35 seconds. I think the simplest way to find the unit rate, though, is with the smallest numbers. So we're going to use that time that she did 30 meters in 5 seconds. And once again, we want to get a unit rate to find Wendy's speed. So that means we want to find out, well, how much would she run in 1 second? Okay, and you guessed it, in order to get 1 second on the bottom, we're going to have to divide by 5. And to keep that giant 1 rule, we're going to have to divide the numerator of 30 meters by 5 as well. 30 divided by 5 is 6. And the top of the fraction, the numerator, is talking about the distance in meters. So that is Wendy running 6 meters per second. Okay, so that was one way to tell how fast they are. Also, this would help us to fill in our table. Because if we know that she runs 6 meters in 1 second, then we can find out how many meters she would run in 10 seconds. So if this is 6 meters per 1 second, how much does she run? Right, I'll put a box here. We can fill it in. How much does she run in 10 seconds? Well, and you guys have done this a million times before. You filled in the blank on a giant 1. What would I have to multiply the numerator by? Or sorry, the denominator of 1 by to get 10 seconds? You'd have to multiply by 10, right? So we fill our giant 1 with a 10 over 10. And that tells us in 10 seconds, she runs 60 meters. So I'm going to fill that in on the table. Now there's a few other ways you could fill in the rest of the table. One way is to just multiply by the time and multiply the time by her speed. Because if she runs 6 meters in 1 second, then she runs 6 times 25 in 25 seconds. The other way you could do it, though, is realize that in the table over here, we're jumping by 10 seconds every time. And we know that in 10 seconds, she runs 60 meters. So in that sense, I can just add 60 to the last amount of distance for every 10 extra seconds she goes. So from 15 to 25 seconds, that's another 10 seconds, meaning I can add another 60 meters, and 90 plus 60 meters is 150. And then from 35 to 45, well, that's plus 10 seconds, meaning that she's going to run another 60 meters. 210 plus 60 is 270. So there you have it. That is how you fill out a rate table. And by finding the unit rates, we were able to see that Yoshi is running a little bit faster than Wendy is.